Hi there. How to create goals that work. 7 tools for success in creating a sustainable lifestyle change. I'm Jayne Arrington. I am a transformational coach. I use the modalities of hypnotherapy and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and I've been working with folks for about 35 years. So today we're going to be working on how to create goals that work and looking at these 7 tools for success and how they can work for you. So we tend to spend more time planning our vacations than we do planning our lives. And so today we're going to spend a little bit more time planning our lives, working on goals and finding out, getting educated on how we can do that and do it so that it works well for us. So if we want to achieve anything outside of our comfort zone, or we don't have a history with something that we have decided that we want, then we have to create new habits of thought and belief that will support us in achieving that goal. And so I'm going to share with you today some tips and steps that you can take that will help you in actually achieving those goals. So those 7 tools, one of the first things that we're going to do what's called a brain scan. And that brain scan basically is putting down anything and everything that we can think of that has to do with the goal that we're going to be working on. Then we're going to move into step number 2, which is identify and sort. Moving into step number 3, reframing beliefs. And that's going to be working with beliefs that don't serve us and how to reframe them, how to reword them. Then we're going to go into an action plan, how we need to create that. 5, checking in with ourselves. 6, repetition. And 7, celebrate and review. So our first one, which is the brain scan, is the first one we're going to be working with. And that brain scan is just getting down anything and everything that you can possibly think of that has anything and everything to do with your goal. You can journal it, list it, or mind map it. You want to consider past, present, and future. You want to think about your senses, picture, sounds, feelings, any tastes or smells that might be associated with it. We want to get anything and everything that we can. We want to get it down in black and white so that it's easy for us to examine. So that's basically what a brain scan is. And that's where we're heading with that. So once we've done that brain scan, we're going to move on to the next tool, which is identify and sort. And identifying and sorting helps us figure out where we need to categorize things. So from that brain scan, we're going to be looking at separating the positive from the negative thoughts and beliefs. We want to get those separate from one another, and we do want to list those linearly if possible, because then we're going to be working on creating some different beliefs around those negative thoughts and beliefs with reframing. And action number 2, we want to identify and separate the thoughts that are past, present, and future, particularly those thoughts that are past. So what we're doing is we're trying to find out what our current self-talk is, and we really need to have that current self-talk staring at us in the face, because most of the time, once we get this information down, we're actually fairly well surprised at the self-talk that we have with ourselves. So then our tool number 3 is reframing beliefs. And this process examines the thoughts and beliefs that don't serve us toward accomplishing our goals and teaches us how to change them to our advantage. So we're going to take from the negative belief list, we're going to first start out with ask ourselves, is this really true? And if so, what makes it true? And how can it be changed? And how can we reword it to support the goal? Oftentimes we'll find out that a belief is not true. And then we kind of have this light bulb moment. The subconscious and the conscious mind kind of come together, and they tend to just let that drift right out of our mental file cabinet. So that's that's a really great thing when that happens. Action number 2, we're going to look at past, present, and future list. Mostly we're going to be really, for the most part, concerned with the past beliefs. Again, actually asking, is this actually true? Because we tend to pack around a lot of baggage from our past that really has nothing to do with anything that's happening to us today, other than it's creating negative impact for us. So oftentimes, again, we're going to find out that maybe it's not true. We have that light bulb moment, and it just can leave our mental file cabinets. If you do find out that it's true, we want to reframe it, and we want to get it in the present tense. So that it does support our goals. If it's something that, I've always been 50 pounds overweight, or I've never been able to afford a car, we really have to look at these things. Is it in the past? And does that mean that it's true in this present moment? Most of the time, we're going to find out if it's a past belief. Quite often, we're going to find out it's not true. It's a lot easier for us then to just move on, let that belief go, and move on to the present moment. So that was our tool number 3. Let's look at tool number 4. Tool number 4 is our plan for action. Our plan for action is going to come out of that brain scan, because remember, we wrote anything and everything to do with that goal that we wanted to achieve. So from there, we can start actually prioritizing some of those items and begin calendaring them, action number 3, in our daily, weekly, and monthly schedules. So that anything and everything that had to do with that, we would have some items that we can start calendaring. We can either work forward or we can work backward. Most of the time, you're going to do both. You're going to work forward because there'll be some things you'll look at and you'll go, oh, I could do that today, or I could do that, in an hour, or I can do that tomorrow, those kinds of things. So we want to make sure that we work both forward and backward. Backwards, starting at the goal, right? Working backwards, looking at where you're at today, looking forward. So both of those work together. You're going to end up meeting somewhere in the middle, which is what you're looking for. All right. So the next thing, our next tool is number 5, and that's called check yourself. Check yourself. Well, it's pretty important to do that because we tend to sometimes take some of the tools and then we don't tend to check in as much. This is an honest check yourself. You want to ask yourself questions, the hard questions, and you want to answer them honestly. If one or two of these things you're not quite there with yet, we can tweak those things. But if you find out the majority of these things that you're not there at all with, it might very possibly be that goal is not the goal that you're really invested and motivated to work with at this time, or that goal needs to be tweaked. So we really want to ask ourselves the hard questions with that. So then we're going to happen to tool number 6. This is one of our most important tools. They're all important, but this one I think is just really, really important because it's a repetition. Research tells us it takes anywhere from 1,000 to 30,000 repetitions to create an automatic response. So what that means to us when we're setting a goal or doing something that we've not done before or don't have a habit with is that takes 1,000 to 30,000 repetitions. So I don't want you to get, bummed out about that because you're thinking, oh my God, how can I do 1,000 to 30,000 repetitions? Everything that we've just done is part of that 1,000 to 30,000 repetitions. The other thing that's going to get you there is your action number 2. You're going to schedule that mantra, which is action number 1, a mantra, visualization, and or affirmations. You're going to create those and you're going to schedule those into your daily routine. You're going to repeat those often throughout the day. And you can help. And another thing that help you with the repetitions is creating anchors with visual, auditory, kinesthetic reminders like Post-its, small flyers, digital reminders on your phone and computer, that kind of thing. So as you can see, goal setting takes a little bit of work. And if we're committed to making something happen for ourselves, we've got to put the work in. We've got to put the repetition in because that repetition is key. So we're going to head into tool number 7. And that one is celebrate and review. And that's just as important as well. We need to celebrate and review the process. We need to celebrate and acknowledge the accomplishments that we've made along the way, small ones, large ones. We need to acknowledge, things that we've done on our to-do list for the day or for the week, and give ourselves credit for that. And we need to have little celebrations along the way as well. You need to go back through the tools frequently and review them. You need to schedule reviews of your overall goal and all the processes that you went through with this in your calendar. And then you also need to be flexible to make adjustments to those goals, and don't be rigid with them. You are going to have to make some adjustments or do some additions, and also be kind to yourself. Remember, action number 5, review and repetition are what create new habits. And this is key to creating a sustainable lifestyle change. So that's really important for us. All right. So that takes us through our 7 tools. And that takes us through our 7 tools. And the key to creating a sustainable lifestyle change is being committed to the changes and knowing that when you're outside of your comfort zone, that there are things that we have to do in order to create new habits. And this helps us create those. If you're not sure how to do this, and it's just like, well, this is, it's really great, but this is really over my head and you feel like you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Find someone who is schooled in modalities of hypnotherapy and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and they'll be able to help you with these 7 steps very easily. And their education will probably be able to add some things to it as well. So, and also hypnosis is an added bonus by the way, as well, because it can help cement those beliefs a little quicker for you. So this really is mind over matter and creating an action plan. And in order for it to work effectively, we got to pay attention to, and we've got to discover what our self-talk is, which is our beliefs, and it's our mental programming around a particular subject. And so by examining our beliefs, we give ourselves the permission and education and the power to make the change. And so that's what we're looking at. So I hope you enjoyed the 7 tools and how to, really make your goals be successful for you. If you want to see this presentation in written form, I actually have written it as an article, and you're more than welcome to go take a look at that on my website and print it out if you'd like. You can get in touch with me through the Mind's Eye. My name is Jayne Arrington, and you can contact me by phone, by email. You can go to my Mind's Eye page on the GoDaddy sites, and I'm also on Facebook. So I hope that you were able to gain some good knowledge out of this, and we'll see you in the goal setting process along the way. Thanks for being here with me, and good luck.